Hello and welcome back to another Players, Profiles, and Projections here on Talkin Yanks. It's brought to you by SeatGeek, and we are talking about the rotation depth, the pitching depth, the prospects, the other guys, all the names and the Codys, and who you might see appear this season. Jake, any names right away you want to throw out that like you want to talk about?
Yeah, I think the easiest way may be to chop it up, starters and relievers, and maybe one guy that toes the line. I think it starts with two prospects for the Yanks. Will Warren is kind of the first guy, alliteration, so you can buy into that. Put together, pitched almost 100 innings at AAA last year. So we know the Yankees like to dip their foot. He's 25. It's kind of a somewhat normal trajectory for the next stop to be the major leagues. And I thought it was interesting. I think he had a somewhat tough outing at spring training the other day after having a clean spring. And all the articles after the game were like, the Yankees were actually more impressed with Will Warren after the game because he persevered through a start. It's like, okay, so we're there.
Well, if you take in that game, he got 4 ground balls in the inning. There were 2 errors behind him.
I've seen some Yankees infield defense over the past couple years. Will Warren, it's tough to say if he's the prospect they held on to. We just saw Chase Hampton get traded to the Padres and then traded again. Drew Thorpe, excuse me.
Kept Hampton.
The Torpedo. But he's next in line, and I don't know. I mean, there's a chance he opens the season as the 5th starter, depending what they do with Luke Weaver or our guy Luis Heel or whoever else they're looking at in the bullpen.
Yeah.
Who do you have as the 5th starter?
I don't care about any of these guys. So this is a tough app.
Okay.
Pitching prospect, pitching depth for me is kind of like, I don't want to know you at all because I have no faith in you.
Sure.
Until you come up and perform.
But they're going to be a part of the team. We've seen Brito, Vasquez, Heel.
Exactly. I hope there's someone better or we trade for someone because, I don't know. Until I see it, I don't believe it. I like Luis Heel.
Right.
I like him a lot.
He's one of those guys, yeah.
I like his stuff.
Yes.
I have every time I've seen him pitch. I like Luis Heel stuff more than all the names you named last year. Brito, Vasquez, Abreu was, kind of that role for a little bit, but less. But at the beginning, he was being used and trusted. Heel stuff always to me looked way more electric than all those guys. I was coming off injury, but I haven't watched a lot of Clayton Beeter or Will Warren. I'd be surprised if they go with a true rookie as a 5th starter and like burn that option when there's a chance they don't have to burn that option, and then the trade value is way more at the deadline because the option is still intact, or they just burn it then because they're like, all right, well, now let's do it and let him get the season started at AAA. If it was like a 5th and we think he might stay the whole year, like Clark or Monty when he did it, I'd be more inclined. But knowing that they think it's not going to be a 5th for the whole season and they think Cole's going to be back, I would guess they go with someone who's already had major league experience as the 5th starter. But I really don't know. I have been I haven't been like tracking this, or I haven't heard much talk about it even.
Yeah, I mean, that's where the Weaver thing's interesting because Luke Weaver was brought in to what we assume to be the 6th man / long man that we haven't, had a couple appearances with the Yankees. And I think we're going to find out decision time soon with the 5th starter spot being open. Are they just going to say, hey, Luke Weaver, you've got it, and Luis Heel, who's had a really fun spring training and going back to his time with the Yankees, he looked good. But they're probably not gonna throw him into a rotation role. So I think the thought exercise for the Yankees is, are we gonna have Luke Weaver start? Probably have a Luis Heel and maybe another non-roster invite guy, Nick Birdie. I've been driving the Birdie bus throughout spring training. Or are they going to bring up one of the young starting pitchers, let them pitch in April, see what they've got a little bit, and then when you get the Cole news, you can either adjust from there or see what else is going on in the rotation?
They do need a fifth starter to start the year because they open up with 7 straight games. They can't do the first time through the rotation and dance around it. After that, they can.
Right.
So there's a chance they can elect to have a fourth bench piece like they did last year, a fourth player on the bench, and then just like have call up a reliever for that first game in Arizona. Might travel with the team, and then they only want a couple innings out of him, not a full starter, and then after that go to a 4-man. Or they put someone in there. I really don't know. I haven't heard much talk about this, but are you excited about the Codys? Like, should I be excited about them?
Every time the Yankees do one of their silly spring training videos, I have 1 or 2 guys shock me, and it's usually a Cody.
Okay.
Because it'll be like, they'll have guys, it'll be like Stroman, Rodon, Judge, Nestor, and you're like, okay, yeah, these are my Yankees. And then I'll see one of the Codys, and I'm just like, which one are you? Which one's shorter? Because he has golfer vibes.
I don't know which one's shorter. I know in the cases of both of them, the Yankees kind of went and got these two. Like, they flipped Florial for him. He's a Matt Blake guy. Matt Blake was running, pitching, taught Cody Morris his cutter. Poteet, they went out and signed to a split deal.
Cody Poteet is the shorter one. So I think he's the one
He's the golfer vibe?
Yes. He's this year's web dog as he's recovering. We wish him the best.
We do. Golf game on point.
Always. Boone always goes there so quick. Instant reaction to hearing Ryan Weber's name.
It's true.
What's that about?
He's got to be a good golfer.
Baseball
Boone
coach.
golfed with him once probably.
Had to learn something about him.
Yeah, it's going to be funny to see what the Yankees do funny business-wise to start the season, because could they have a bullpen guy? Could they have an extra bullpen guy, not have a fifth starter, call up a fifth starter for that first start, almost a spot start, and then call up another
I think that's
reliever?
what they'll do. So that's why I think they're going to want someone that they're not going to burn their option for a potential spot start.
Right.
Like if they were going to use one of the young guys that hasn't debuted yet, it would be if they think he's going to be here. But yeah, they can go one time through with a spot starter, and then they can go the next time through. They can get halfway through again without one, or they can go one time through without one. Then they would need another spot start. The 4th series against Miami, they would need a spot starter there.
Yeah, and I guess one rain out or something cancels that too. That's where I guess I'm a little skeptical of that, just because to be walking that tightrope this early in the season with just 4 starters, I don't know. I guess I just don't know where they stand with Weaver. Like, why isn't it already announced that Luke Weaver will be the 5th starter?
He's banged up, right?
Yeah, they kind of said he's fine, but
he hasn't,
we
I
haven't
don't think he's
seen
pitched
him
yet.
since the.
That's what I've been
thing.
saying. He's banged up, and everyone's been like, no, he's good now. So
I have right now I have Heel and Weaver, if Weaver's fine, as piggybacking those days.
So you're not on the birdie bus.
Again, I don't want to upset anyone.
Okay.
If they're into pitching prospects, I am not into pitching prospects.
Not a prospect.
He's 31.
He's not.
Well, then I don't know him yet. I'm not into journeyman that much either.
Yeah, he's looking like this year's Hamilton. Like, the Yankees like to tap into their bullpen game.
So reliever?
So right now, there's basically
last guy on our
2
list
spots
here.
on the Yankees, pitching-wise, that are undecided. That's with Luke Weaver being on the team. And so right now, Fangraphs, who, they're guessing. They're not locking this in. They have Beater as the 5th starter, who is the return from the Gallo trade. And I do laugh in my head sometimes that I'm like, how much does the Yankees front office want to come back and be like, look what we did from Joey Gallo. You guys thought that transaction was a loss.
Do they have Nick Ramirez there?
They do not have Nick Ramirez currently.
Because they still like themselves, Nick Ramirez. He pitches a lot.
Yep.
Lefty can do innings.
They like to burn Nick Ramirez.
He's appeared in 6 games this spring. That's the second most game. Only Ron Marinaccio has appeared in more.
Let's go, Ron.
And they've already had Nick, and I thought Nick was going to start unless they're like out on him.
Start on the team.
Yeah.
Okay.
Unless would Birdie be like lost then? Like it would be a DFA?
I think so.
So maybe not.
Or they'd probably have to, put him on waivers.
Yeah, he might have enough service time.
Yeah, he's an NRI. So, yeah, I mean, that's where it's going to be fun to see the Yankees play the game here. And, like, I don't know, someone like Birdie, no offense at Nick Ram, but I'm glad you're familiar with him now. Birdie's been pumping 100. He's played Major League Baseball before. Seems like the guy that the Yankees think they could tap into and have be this year's Cordero type or something like that.
His injury history is like extensive too, so it's a little morbid, but like he's healthy, let's use him in the beginning of this year and
smoke him while you got him.
See what we got while we've got him.
McKinley Moore is on the Yankees 40 man.
Yeah, he was.
Who's that?
They did a ton of waiver claims this year. He's a little bit of a not real prospect, but was like in the Phillies top 30, and people were surprised they DFA'd him, and the Yankees got him. So maybe he survives this. But I haven't seen him once this spring.
No need. Cody's heel, Yogo.
Yogo. They liked him.
Boone said his name.
Yeah.
It's kind of a big step in Yankee land.
So, Biebs, you like Warren?
I do like Warren. I did a lot of deep diving on the prospects and options coming out. It was like if they need a starter for 2 months, I would like to see what Warren's got.
I don't see them
He
just
is like a
handing
top
that to
5
someone.
in
I
the
don't know.
system guy.
They
The way
traditionally don't.
Cashman talked about Will Warren to us put it kind of on my radar that like, oh, they might do it.
Yeah, think about when
He like mentioned him as a depth option when we asked Brian Cashman, like, so like, don't you think like somebody's gonna get hurt in spring and you want a 6th starter? And he immediately jumped to like, well, Will Warren, we think is MLB ready, and
I see that as they were trying to trade him, but that's just the cynic in me.
the Yankees don't
traded.
hand over the keys a lot.
No.
How many PPPs did we do for Clark Schmidt? Where it's like looking for an opportunity. But I mean, the pitching is thin, noticeably.
Yes.
And we said that about the hitting last year, and we saw a lot of guys get opportunities. So, yeah, I don't know. I think it's one of the bigger question marks of this Yankees season. Like we talk about, a lot of these guys are going to throw a little bit. It's just who's going to throw a lot of it. Because, yeah, there's every year a few of these guys get real run on the Yankees.
I think it's similar to last year.
Even Brito-esque.
Brito and Randy getting like as much run as they did last year was. I feel like we're there. Where like, all right, if they're up and pitching, I will like tune in and hope there's something. But
turned into Soto a little bit.
even
You know?
King and Thorpe mostly.
last year, like Brito and Vasquez were not on on our minds as they're gonna be part of this season yet at this point last year. We're like, one more injury away, and like,
Well, wasn't
Warren's
Brito in
in
this
there.
rotation at this point last year?
maybe right around now they realize they're gonna have to do it. But
Before spring.
the plan, it all happened late enough that he was kind of forced to start the 3rd game of the season. Just like that would not have been the plan if we knew. I think even this early last year, we knew he was gonna be part of the season, I guess. But
90 innings from Brito last year.
Crazy.
flipped.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, you're going to see some of these names, and we'll find out what we think about them then. Get some run, trade them,
Yeah.
sign a guy that's proven it. That's my way to go.
Hey, be young and be good, and you've got a really valuable asset in the Yankees going forward, whether you're trying to trade or lock up Soto or do whatever you're trying to do.
Be young and be good.
Especially at the DraftKings Sportsbook. Head to the ballpark and root for the home team as baseball season's getting underway. And now, new customers If you bet $5, you'll get $150 in bonus bets instantly. Don't forget to use our code YANKS. And they've got their daily DraftKings fantasy stuff if sports betting is not legal in your state yet. So download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. New customers use promo code YANKS. Bet just $5 on any wager. Get $150 in bonus bets instantly. That's promo code YANKS only at DraftKings Sportsbook. The crown is yours. I'm going to need a favorite Cody out of you. How about we each pick a Cody?
So Cody Poteet, and who's the other Cody?
Cody Morris.
Poteet, because that's the only one I remember his name of.
Okay, I'll take Cody Morris.
Cody Morris hasn't existed in my brain yet.
Okay, good, because I'll take anything.
Okay. I think neither.
Starsky and Hutch. It's a good gif if you're trying to send gifts to your buddies.
What are the odds neither Cody's part of what's going on?
It's interesting because they both have MLB experience. Cody Morris came from Cleveland, so he's got a Matt Blake connection, and he's a University of South Carolina guy, which is a little bit of Yankee crack. Cody Poteet, also with big league experience, and kind of solid in a bullpen role for Florida Fish, if I remember correctly. So Cody Morris is the big one, so I can take him. 27 on the Yankees 40 man.
Option down. So he's going to start in AAA?
Seems that way.
Seems
for
that
now.
And Poteet has not been optioned yet?
I don't believe he's been optioned.
Okay. I got Poteet.
You like Luis Gil in a bullpen role this year?
Or started role. I've never seen him in the bullpen. He always starts, right? I mean, I think he started in the minors and started all of his majors. So, I mean, I'm not going to say go get 5 innings. I think he needs a piggyback or something like that. Or Weaver and him. But I like Luis Gil's stuff. I know it's wild.
Nasty.
But I really like Jared Weaver's stuff, too.
Sure.
And he couldn't really locate it. So sometimes the stuff's too much.
Looks confident. Good fastball.
Gil's got a neck tattoo. Can't teach that.
Throat.
Right on the throat. The slider looked nasty the other day, too. And, like, his mound presence is good, Luis Gil's.
Feels like he belongs.
Oh, yeah.
He does.
He has, like, here you go, trying to hit it, fucker.
Guys with neck tats rarely don't feel like they belong.
They're that guy.
Yeah. It's true. That's true.
Sign of confidence. Be good, Will.
Will Warren. Who do you guys like in the comments? I came here very excited. What did you want to hear us say? You're upset we didn't say it.
Not enough beta.
Chase Hampton, quick riser. Not the pitch. Tough to
He's
do.
interesting. Just doesn't seem likely to be in the bigs this year.
Clayton Andrews, short.
Short lefty. Yari De Los Santos, sinker from the Pirates.
5'6", 160.
Oh.
Get to the warehouse.